Hello, I'm Dale Barcher, Executive Director with South Dakota Right to Life. Happy to be with you from our state capital, the People's House, here in Pierre, South Dakota. And I have with me a special guest today. I have with me Katy Faust. And Katy, introduce yourself. Tell our partners across the state of South Dakota and beyond a little bit about yourself and wonderful organization you work with.
Thanks. My name is Katy, and I run an organization called Them Before Us, and the idea is them, the children, before us, the adults. We are a children's rights organization. We advocate for children's natural rights, specifically their right to their mother and father. Now, we totally agree that children have a right to life. Thankfully, there are hundreds of incredible organizations, like Dale's, that are fighting for that right. We are one of the very few organizations that are fighting for children's rights on this side of the womb, and I am here in South Dakota talking with your state reps about surrogacy and why surrogacy is a violation of children's rights.
Well, it's definitely a hot issue. It's been a front burner issue with our state legislative process for several sessions now. But we're very interested in this session. I have a question for you, Katy. For those partners that are listening that may not be really well acquainted with this topic and the issue at hand, how do you tie the surrogacy issue in with the pro-life issue? How do they fit together?
They are two sides of the same coin. And if you are pro-life, then you should be anti-surrogacy. And I'm going to tell you why. The first reason is that the same mentality is at work in both issues. In adoption, the mentality says, if a child is unwanted, I can violate their right to life and force them out of existence. With surrogacy and other reproductive technologies, that mindset says, if a child is very wanted, I can force them into existence and violate their right to their mother and father, or both, and very often violate children's right to life as well. What very few people understand is that children that are created in laboratories through IVF, which is always a part of surrogacy, only 7% of those children will be born alive. Let me say that another way. 93% of children that are created through surrogacy contracts will die. They will never be born alive. They will languish forever in a freezer. They will be deemed non-viable or the wrong sex and discarded. They will not survive the thawing process. They will not implant properly, or they will be selectively reduced, that is, aborted in process. Abortion is standard language in surrogacy contracts. Why? Because when you are paying 6 figures for a child, abortion serves as quality control and quantity control. This is not a child-friendly process. This is not about babies. If it was, I would be pro-surrogacy. But that's not what surrogacy is. Surrogacy is on-demand designer babies shipped worldwide. It is the commodification of children, and every pro-lifer needs to stand against it.
Not only is Katy a national speaker, but Katy is an author. Katy, will you share with our partners where they can go to find more information and a little bit about your book?
Yeah, if you go to my website, thembeforeus.com, go to the Justice tab at the very top, and you will see the handout that I gave to your state reps today. It is the hardest and fattest, most condensed fact sheet on why surrogacy violates children's right to life, right to their mother and father, and right to be born free and not bought and sold. Surrogacy violates all 3 of those rights. So you'll find the quick fact sheet right there on my website. But if you want everything there is to know, every study, the testimonies, the stories of kids, the cases of horrific child maltreatment and abuse that surrogacy allows by intentionally severing children from their biological and gestational mother, then go to my book, thembeforeus.com. It should have a link right there on the front. Them Before Us, Why We Need a Global Children's Rights Movement. We devote all of Chapter 8 just looking at surrogacy from the child's perspective. You won't read it and walk away thinking this is no big deal. This is just about helping people to have families. You will understand why Europe has widely banned this process, because it is the buying and selling of people.
Well, this is a big deal. Here in South Dakota, we're very concerned about this issue. Found it was really interesting. This morning, a national attorney, pro-life attorney, Harold Cassidy, made this statement. He said, surrogacy is the evil cousin of abortion. That's why, friends, as partners of South Dakota Right to Life, we must band together and see this issue for what it is. It's a horrible industry. and one in which we want to protect women and, most of all, protect our children. So thank you for listening today. Thank you, Katy, for being with us here today. And God bless. And we'll be in touch from the state capitol during the 97th legislative session. God bless. Until next time.